Hey guys, James here. Today I'm going to be giving you a review on Metabo's new 36 volt rotary hammer and jackhammer. What I've got in the box here is the drill, and I'll show you that now. Basically in the kit you get the drill itself, one spare 36 volt battery, charger, and interchangeable chuck. So what I'll do, I'll show you the tool being used in action, what I've used it for, and I'll come back and I'll tell you a little bit about how it's performed and about some of the specs. Alright, let's get into it. So some of the features of the drill. The first thing you'll notice is here, there's a little pivot, and up the top here you've got these, what they call like a little shock absorber. And so when you push on that, you'll see the handle moves, and it pivots. You'll see that sock condense up. That's really good for chiseling. I found that quite comfortable because there's no real shock in through your hands on the base. The battery itself is one large 36 volt battery. Battery indicators on the side here. Standard handle which will, you know, move to whatever location you want it to. You've got the interchangeable, they call it the quick. Basically just pull that over and then that'll pop off the end. And so you can go from your SDS bit through to a normal chuck for drilling. So then with that up the top here, you've got it in drill mode, where if you just want to put a speed bore or something on there. You've got hammer drill. You've got this function which is the hammer, but it allows the actual chuck to spin freely, which you would have seen when I was chiseling those tiles. They came in handy for getting to different angles. When you've got this, let me change this back over. So with this SDS bit, so with this chisel point in here, you can see basically that I can spin that chuck freely. So that actually operates. So that's my chiseling action. So basically with it in this section here, you can see the chuck will spin freely, but will still also work in hammer mode. And then when you flick it down to the bottom here, that will lock that into that position. So then your chisel point can't go anywhere, it's locked into that one setting where you need it. Okay, so back testing out this little 36 volt, little big 36 volt rotary hammer by Metabo. I'm doing some underpinning here, and I've got a bit of sandstone and soft clay that I need to pull out. I'm going to use this to chisel it back to the right size. So let's see it in action. Okay, so I've just got a dead battery on this one. I'm going to pop it over to a fully charged battery, and then we'll see how much rock and sandstone we can get out of here on one fully charged battery. Give you a bit of an indication, I guess, of runtime on how that 36 volt performs. Alright, let that charge up. We'll see how long it takes from start through to finish. Set the timer, and I'll let you know how long the charge time is on this. Okay, so we just got a solid green light not too long ago. I might have missed it, but we're at about 56 minutes. So I'd say somewhere between 50 and 55 would be the runtime on this. I'll see what's in the manual, but that's just testing it on site to see how long it actually took from fully dead to fully charged. All right, so that one's just gone flat. So runtime on this, I've been using that solid for about probably 55 minutes, and that was getting through some of this sandstone and some of the soft clay. Okay, so there you have it. You got to see the 36 volter in action. Now I've certainly put it through its paces. It's nice and dirty and grubby, you can see there, so I'm going to have to give it a bit of love after this and clean it up. Now to give you some of the specs on the tool, went pretty well. I reckon you're going to get average between about 40 minutes to 50 minutes runtime out of this battery. As I've got into some of the harder rock, I've probably gone through 4 different batteries here just to excavate this area behind me for some of this underpinning. First couple of batteries were quite good because it was a bit softer, they'd last a bit longer. But when I got stuck into some of that more solid sandstone, it went through the batteries a bit quicker. But on average, like my tests were between about 40 and 50 minutes. Some of the drilling diameters you'll get with the chuck on the end of it, you'll get up to 13 mil in steel you can drill. You'll get up to 30 mil in wood, and I think with a hole saw you'll get like a 65 or a 68 mil hole saw drilling capacity. So that's with the other chuck attachment on it. As far as RPMs, you only get about 1100 RPMs out of this. They say on the SDS attachment, you'll get about 4500 beats per minute, or hits per minute with that hammer, so that's pretty good. So yeah, good little unit. You've got the adjustable handle here on the side, which you can move around. But one of the functions that I like, which I show you up with some of the close-ups, was how you can turn this chisel attachment around to neutral, and then once that's in neutral, it allows you to spin this head to where you want it, and then you can lock it back into chiseling, and that's good for getting into tight spaces when you want to turn the spade bit around a little bit. So I quite enjoyed that as well. But yeah, a good little all-rounder. Like I said, I really like that shock absorber. Being on this for 3 or 4 hours the other day, it really gives the hands a good workout. So to have that little bit of soft cushioning really made a difference. Oh, and I meant to say, I did actually film this on a little kitchen renovation where I was chopping out some splashback tiles, and unfortunately I deleted the footage before I could get to editing, so my mistake. What I'll do is check out the comments section below, and in the description of the tool and everything else there, I'll put a link to my Instagram account, and you can see the video there where I actually use this for the day as well too, so you can see a bit more of the machine in action. So there you have it. You got to see the machine being used in action and a close-up of some of the features. Now, how do I think it performed? Bloody awesome. It's a good little machine, this thing. It's quite powerful. As a 36 volt, I mainly used it just for the chiseling to get things off. I haven't used it for too much drilling as yet, but I can imagine with the SDS attachment that it's going to go through brick and concrete pretty comfortably. It packs a real punch, this thing, but just for your everyday sort of speedball bits or hole saws, I wouldn't be using this drill. I'd be dropping it back to a lighter one, a next model down basically. That said, it really packs a punch. Good little drill, comes in quite handy for your all-round sort of bathroom renovations or general sort of site construction work. Anything sort of really heavy duty, this thing will get you out of trouble. Where you'll also see this being used is on Instagram. I've been using it quite a bit, filming and taking photos for this tool and some of the other Metabo gear and other power tools and equipment that I use. So if you're not following along, check out the link up there, or just go to the Instagram, our build, basically pretty easy to find. And yeah, and like I said, you'll see some little snippets and some behind the scenes action of these things being used as well too. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, like or subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Wow, pretty cool. See ya.